Hey, everybody, Titus. Hey, we're releasing another stand-up special. This one specifically for all you parents out there with kids at home. Born with a Defect. One of my favorites. I don't even think my ex. Yeah, I think my ex might have brought this one up in court too. Enjoy it, people. It's one of my favorites. You'll get it. If you have children, it's therapy. If you don't have children, it is 90 minutes of birth control. Peace. Be safe. Stay in. Let's end this.
Okay, all right, that's enough. I have a show to do. I've never talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it now. I was born with a defect. I was actually born a child. And I don't understand how human beings run anything. We're the only species born without ability or instinct. Every other animal has it. Dolphin swims for its first breath. Deer walks in an hour. Human child needs 2 adults around it for 5 years so it doesn't choke on a Cheerio. If babies didn't smile cute, they would be food. Babies are worth it. There's nothing there. Having a baby is like buying a laptop that won't turn on and shits itself. We can't even survive for the first couple years unless someone's ramming a nipple in our face every 2 hours. I still feel like that to this day. Anyone else? Yeah. Yes, thank you. But if it's a boy child, nipples rammed in too often, has a problem with women later in life. And if it's a girl child, nipples rammed in too often, she experiments in college. You know what you did. Every other animal on the planet has fear, programmed. We invented the X Games. Every other animal, here's a combine going through a cornfield. Here's that motor, hides in a hole. Human toddler, here's a combine going through a cornfield, runs in front of it and goes, "Daddy, truck!" Aw, damn it, gotta clean out the chute again. That's right, joke number 5, we chopped up a child in a combine. Are you guys ready? Good, 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 yay! Woo! All right. Every other animal on the planet is instinctively afraid of fire. Human beings learn about fire by touching fire. That's defective. How did we get the keys to this planet? Now, my brother learned about fire when he was 10 because 10-year-old boys are just pyromaniac puppies with opposable thumbs. And we had a real cool uncle growing up. Remember that cool uncle we all had? He was so cool when you were a kid. And then you became an adult and realized someone should have called child services. Hey, here's a magazine. Put that under your bed. Don't tell your dad, huh? Hey, you ever try 120 proof whiskey? Don't tell your dad, huh? Don't sign anything from the goddamn government. I sign your dad's name. Don't tell your dad, huh? That uncle? When we were little, he would do like the thumb trick. Not that's the other uncle. He would do the magic trick. But as we got older in my family, Uncle started giving us criminal knowledge at barbecues. And we were always hanging out with him, and the adults weren't there because I guess in case they had to testify, I don't know why. And one day my uncle just comes out on 4th of July with this giant can of bug spray, and he goes, "Kids, you guys know bug spray's flammable? Don't tell your dad." Pulls a lighter and just goes. And we were little kids, we're like, "That's the coolest thing we've ever seen!" And now as an adult, I realize it's also how they train ISIS. But you can't show little kids this. So this knowledge beats around in my brother's head for 3 months, and then one day in the backyard, it pops like a stupidity zit. And we had these giant concrete planters in our backyard that my dad had stolen from work. Or as Dad said, it ain't stealing if they ain't using them. Then why are we picking them up at midnight, Dad? 'Cause they ain't using them, dumbass. Yeah, some of these jokes Dad wrote when he was alive. So my brother gets this big giant can of bug napalm, starts filling up this planter with mist, and he's throwing matches into it, and it was working. It was like a Kiss concert in the backyard. Without the 55-year-old women flashing their boobs, oh my God. Yeah, hey, there's a day for all of us to keep our shirts down. And if you don't know that day, ask a friend, they'll be honest. I have to do a little sidebar. I actually did a show a while back, about 4 years ago up in Northern California for Michael Anthony and Sammy Hagar. Then we opened this big thing for a radio station. It's 15,000 seats. I go out, I'm doing jokes. In the middle of me doing jokes, some 450-pound, like 60-year-old woman just goes, ah! You may be able to play guitar, but it is hard to tell jokes with puke in your mouth. So my brother's setting these planters afire. And he does that for like an hour, then he gets bored, and he's a 10-year-old boy, so he wants some more pyrotechnic knowledge, because he knows one day he may be a warlock. He snaps a branch off a tree, makes a fuse out of it, strips it all down, puts it in the bottom of the planter, coats in this horrible, toxic, cancer-causing bug juice, fills it with mist again, and he's gonna light it. But before he lights it, he wants to see what's gonna happen, so he takes his face, and he puts it in the planter. And this is why I'm pissed YouTube didn't exist when I was a child. Because this is sponsorship money right here. And he lights it, and before he can move a millimeter, he goes, shh. Yeah. And when he stood up, he was tan, eyebrowless, and the center part of his hair right here was missing. He looked like a 10-year-old middle-aged accountant with hair plugs, just ash on top of his head. And I come home like an hour later, and he is freaking out. He's like, oh my God, look what I did, Dad's gonna kill me. And I'm the older brother. I said, calm down, Dad is gonna kill you. But why stress if you know it's gonna happen? Shut up, man, you gotta help me. I can't help you, you've disfigured yourself. Like, we can't, like, shave the dog and make a tiny toupee, it's gonna look stupid. I mean, I'll get out a Sharpie and draw on your eyebrows, but you're gonna look like a pirate on chemo, that's all I'm gonna say. Arr. Remember when you were a kid and you committed that household felony? We all did it, the big one, I'm talking the big one. You had a water fight in the house with the hose. Drywall had to be replaced. Threw a firecracker in the toilet just to see what's gonna happen. Gave one of your friends antifreeze and told him it was Gatorade. Had to watch the EMTs drive off to get his stomach pumped. And you knew parents had been called. And all you had to do was wait for Dad. And I wasn't in trouble, so it was fun. I got to observe. And you could see the stress tumors metastasizing in my brother as it got closer. And at 5:30, you hear the car pull in the driveway. And I have to admit, my brother took it like a man. He went and stood right in front of the front door, just... he looked like a guy on death row in a Johnny Cash song. Just, I'm gonna have to pay for what I've done. And my father opens the door, puts his briefcase down, looks at my brother and goes, and my brother knew, Dad, let me tell you what happened. I don't care what happened. Whatever you did, you paid for it. Don't do it again, goddammit! We're idiots. As a species, it's just we're idiots. And I'm a father, which just, just was a mistake. And frightens people. When I tell people I have kids, they don't go, boys or girls? They go, really? They okay? compared to me? Yeah. I have 2 kids, 2 marriages, and a parade of stress polyps in my colon having a rave. And if you're a parent tonight, you know what a joy having children is. And if you're a parent tonight, you know it's hard to say that sentence without laughing. Every parent in this room at one point has stared into their children's yellow, hazy, sugar-fueled eyes and thought, I was tricked. I could have been something. Next Thanksgiving, I'm punching my mom in the throat. And that's where love comes from. And I want to be clear, I do love my kids because I hate jail. And this is about the time of the show where women start to get a little stink face going on. They're like, oh my God, what's he talking about? Kids are great. What is he talking about? They're amazing. They're little Jesus tears. That's what they are. No, not at all. No. They're little Jesus hemorrhoids. That's what they are. That's all they are. Yeah. They are painful, annoying, and hard to get rid of. I described a hemorrhoid. That's a hemorrhoid. All right, let me ask you, parents who actually think their kids just rule the world, are the greatest thing ever. When's the last time your kid walked in the room and said, Mom, Dad, can I help you with anything? Mom, Dad, what would you like for Christmas? Do you realize if you had a friend that borrowed $20 from you so it could go out and buy you a shitty birthday present, you would stab him in the face with a fork? Yeah, I want to be clear about what tonight's show is going to be about. If you are a parent, tonight's show is therapy. If you don't have kids, tonight's show is 90 minutes of birth control. You're welcome. You are welcome. They're horrible, man. Having a kid is like putting all your money into asbestos. Dangerous, causes disease, and if it's yours, you're liable for it. They're just little disease-filled skin bags passing on to you every disease that's floating through its preschool, man. Preschool, just a viral hot zone full of patient zeros, that's all it is. A room full of tiny sociopathic humans who can play board games while sitting in their own feces. That's mental patient behavior. And every parent in this room at one point has had a sick kid and sent it to school anyway. Yeah, I know you people without kids are thinking that's horrible, that's irresponsible. Well, maybe, but also sometimes you need a couple fucking hours. The problem is every other parent did the same thing, or that joke would have gotten one laugh. And we would have beat the hell out of that person for making our kids sick. The problem is we all sent them to school, put them in one room, see what kind of Ebola cocktail they could come up with. I'm not worried about terrorists coming up with a super plague. I'm worried about it being weaponized at nap time. That's when it's going to get weird. You know who's going to survive the apocalypse? Cockroaches and kindergarten teachers. Because their immune system is just amazing. Knock her down, we got to get the antidote. They're horrible. And why is every little kid under 6 always oozing something? What the hell is coming out of them? It's not a solid, it's not a liquid, it's nowhere on the element chart. What is it? How come every kid under 6 is just a little bit steamy? You ever touch a little kid? It's like, oh. Trying to pull your hand up, trying to get Velcro off a poodle. Yeah. What the hell is on you? There's nothing on me. And they love it. Whatever goo that is, they love it. They love it. They love it. I can prove it. Try to wipe any kid under 6 with a napkin. It's like you pepper sprayed them. How defective is that? You're literally covered in a slime that could wipe out an indigenous people. And you just keep eating your fucking cookie. That joke came from a real place. I was doing bills one night. I was doing all the bills, and I did all of the, like the household bills. Then I did my wife and I bills, and then I did the kid bills, and it was more kid bills than adult bills. And I went to a bad place. And I was walking through the house, and I walked past the living room where my kids were, and they weren't digging ditches or putting an addition on the house. They were on the couch, wrapped in blankets, eating a tray of cookies in front of them. And I just stopped and, look at you. Sitting there eating your fucking cookies. And then in my head went, back out of the room, you don't want to be on the news like this. So I walked away. Just little disease-filled skin bags, I want you to hug it. That's all they are. People complain all the time, oh, I wasn't hugged enough as a child, I had to go to therapy. Hug you till you were 10, you were a pathogen with legs, man. I'm like, I'm not gonna hug you. Between 1 and 3, all of us were just war crimes in plastic pants. That's all we were. And I don't care if they have kids or not. Everybody in this room at one point has walked into someone else's house who has kids and said this sentence, what is that smell? And I don't mean the baby smell when they're little, a talcum powdery, that's kind of cute. I mean once they hit the larva stage. And the first time it happened to me, my son was 7, I walked in there, and you weren't ready for it. I didn't know what the hell it was. I walked in, I was like, Honey, call State Farm. We have toxic mold. Everyone get their masks on. We're going to be Japanese for a couple weeks. You hear that pause? That was that pause. You guys checked to see if that joke was racist. You went, ha! Don't worry, I got this. Relax, I cleared it. You know, whenever I see 12 Japanese people in the airport with masks on, I never think, that is so cute culturally. I always think, what the hell do they know? And I'm gonna go down to the Rosetta Stone kiosk and get some goddamn answers. So you walk into the house as a parent, and you're thinking, okay, what is that smell? Oh, I know what that smell is. That smell is one of the tiny pets that disappeared. Because when they're little, you can't talk about death. When a pet dies when they're little, it's like a mob hit. Daddy, what happened to Mr. Pickles? Mr. Pickles got a job downstate. Why are you asking so many questions? How about you go in the other room, eat your fucking cookie? How about that? How about that, huh? And then you walk in the house and you go, okay, I know what I'm looking for now. I am looking for a guinea pig corpse. That's what I'm looking for. And then after a while, you think, you know what, that smell is too big. That can't, maybe someone left a tuna fish sandwich in the vagina of a sperm whale, because... Yeah, that one's a little tart, isn't it? That one? Yeah. One of those special laughs. Ha ha! I have two children. I have a 12-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl. So my house is the Thunderdome of stink right now. It is a dueling piano bar of odor, and they're trading the title all the time. It's really interesting. My daughter's also going through the change, which is just amazing. Amazing. Oh. Hi, Daddy. Honey, calm down. I know what this is. You are very pretty. And here are some M&Ms. I'm a good dad. My son is 12, which means he is Olympic level dumb. 10 to 14-year-old boys, man, but I don't understand. I thought he was on the spectrum for a long time. Well, I guess we just gotta love him. And then one day a bunch of his friends came over like, oh, they're all idiots. No. Honey, we're okay. He's just normal stupid. We're fine. stupidest group of kids I've never seen. 10 to 14-year-old boys, man. If aliens landed at my kid's school and just interviewed the 10 to 14-year-old boys, they would vaporize the earth. They'd be, nah, this species is going to die out on its own. Let's just end it here. These guys, my God. Look at the socks don't match. They're wearing cargo shirts with the long sleeve shirts. Jesus. They think they're funny and they're not. And what is that smell? I came downstairs a Saturday a while back, and my son's sitting on the couch watching television, and he has on no pants. I don't mean he has on underwear and no pants. I mean he's got a long t-shirt on and absolutely no pants. And he was 11, he knew about pants. I go, what are you doing? I'm watching cartoons. You have no pants. He looks me right in the face and goes, oh! Like it wasn't even in the top 5 things bugging him. And then he goes back to watching television! To you people that don't have kids, you think you've been angry in your life? That's adorable. That is so cute. I'm not saying you've never been angry. I'm just saying your normal single non-kid anger is a 10 here. When you have a child, it's like adding a 4-inch layer of bitter frustration icing that smells like almonds and tastes like aneurysm. And you can't do anything because they're little kids. You just can't, you're little kids. You can't knee them in the face because the laws are different now. My dad didn't have those laws. That's why I'm not symmetrical. And you just can't start screaming because you lose all credibility. So what I find myself doing now, so nothing bad happens, is I turn and I walk out of the room having a mumble argument to myself. Like, you know, really? Okay, wow. You know what pants are. And you're too young to have to air it out. I don't know what you're thinking. And what makes you think it's okay to put your greasy little boy taint on my leather couch? My God. I mean, Jesus Christ. You left a racing stripe the dogs won't go near. I don't think we have a homeless problem in this country. I think it's just parents roaming the streets talking to themselves, trying to figure out what the hell their kid just did. And thank God I have a spouse because I can go find her. That's the great thing. My wife, I have a new wife, I can just go. Did you see what? Did you tell him it was? Because I didn't. I don't even know what the fuck. You know, I'm going to go for a walk. I got to go. And then I find myself in front of my house just walking down the street going, like, why would you put every piece of clothing you own in the washer at one time? You heard the washer going, and you saw the smoke and the flame pouring out of the back of it after you filled it with dish soap, you little dumbass, my God. And while I'm in front of my house spaz ranting, someone slaps $1 in my hand. I'm gonna stay out here and do this. This is way easier than raising a kid. And I made money. So I come back downstairs after I've calmed down. I go get on some pants. And here's what pissed me off was, he got up like I did something wrong. He got up, oh, Dad lives in the 40s where people gotta wear pants. I go about my Saturday, I flick through some channels, I check some emails, and blah, 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 and I forget about him for 90 minutes. Yeah, and then, all of a sudden I realize I haven't heard a noise out of my son in over an hour and a half. Now, to you people without kids, that sounds amazing, doesn't it? Oh, God, how great was that? No. No. Until you have one, you will not know the bone-chilling terror of that first nanosecond you notice the death-like silence of a free-range 11-year-old boy. It's like waking up on a flight and noticing the engines just quit. And I start bolting through the house. I get to his room, I was like, ah! And know when I found him, I wish to God he was doing something diabolical, evil, building a bomb, worshiping Satan, something. Because at least then I know he was doing something productive and he's going to be the leader of the prison gang. What's your son doing? He's running Chino. That's a conversation that I'm willing to have with somebody if that's where it ends up. Instead, I look into my son's room. He's standing in the middle of the room simply doing this. What is he doing? What are you doing? What are you getting ready for an early 20s crystal meth addiction? What is that? I look down, still no pants. But progress has been made. And this happened. My son is now wearing 2 pairs of underwear. I don't have a context for that conversation. I can't even sit down and give him a dad life lesson. I remember when I put on 2 pairs of underwear. I just went, you get, what the, Wow, don't you have nerve endings in your ass? You didn't notice that you put underwear over underwear? And just because you put underwear over underwear doesn't make the second pair of underwear pants. Oh my God. What does a special school cost? Jesus. I can't spell Montessori. God. And what is that smell? That smell, I swore I wasn't gonna be one of those parents. Everyone has a friend who had too many kids. They regret it. And when you go to their house, it always smells like they're cooking eggs. Did you guys like to eat out on the patio? Please, thank you. And I wasn't gonna be there, they've just given up. You can tell they've just given up. Their house is gonna smell like that till everybody leaves and they burn it down. And I wasn't gonna be that parent. So the first time it happened, I went in his room and I went through everything. Went through his drawers, I went through his closet, and I couldn't find the smell. I wish there was a 12-inch human turd under his bed. Because then I could go, victory, I have found the smell. Get the hazmat suits and the bleach, and then we shall dance. Instead, I just walk out. Why? How does it soak into latex? It's impossible. Oh, my God. If you have kids that smell, if you have boys especially, girls have it too. My daughter has a weird thing. Her room looks great, but you open her closet, and it's like, okay, all right. Your clothes have fumes, honey. They shouldn't have fumes. The smell is worse in a hospital or a nursing home or a death camp. Like, I could save some people from Dachau, hide in my son's room. Stay here. The Nazis will never get you here. And after about 10 minutes, they would go, you know, we're going to go back to the camp. Do you smell that? Ugh, I think I need a shower. No. Don't you ooh that. That joke tracks perfectly. I put them in my son's room. They smelled something horrible. They felt disgusting. They needed a shower. But then you guys added history. Yeah, that's on you bitches. As a matter of fact, yeah, I'm a little disappointed in all of you, frankly. Yeah, how's that feel? To you people that do not have children, listen up. Cool Uncle Titus is going to help you out right now. Between 1 and 18, a child's going to cost you roughly $300,000. Yeah, do you know what you can get for $300,000? A Lamborghini. Do you know what you can get with a Lamborghini? Anything you want. Are you kidding me, man? You got a Lamborghini, park in front of any restaurant or store in this town. Park it right here, sir. We're going to wipe it down while you're inside. Get that man a glass of champagne, for he has a Lamborghini. Pull up to a job interview in a Lamborghini. You're obviously management potential. Please go talk to the boss. We're going to give you the corner office because you have a Lamborghini. Gentlemen, you're driving a Lamborghini. Who is sitting next to you? Way out of your league chick. That's who's sitting next to you. Smoking body. She got money. She got class. She doesn't like you, but you have a Lamborghini. And you're living the Lamborghini life, man. Doing what you want, when you want, staying up all night and getting up early because you're not tired at all. That's right. Because you know what a Lamborghini doesn't have? A fucking car seat. That's what it doesn't have. That's what it doesn't have. Driving through town, just, driving past parents in minivans with bald tires because Connor needs braces. And they're watching you drive by like starving African children. Flies buzzing around their head. Because what is that smell? But you out there living the Lamborghini life, doing crazy stuff, taking vacations that actually feel like vacations. Oh, you're staying in the top floor of the resort and the kids not allowed suite. I've been there once. It was incredible. Out on the balcony with the one, man, $60 bottle of Pinot Noir. Cling. This is an amazing life. I love you. You love me. And then 18 rooms down the hotel, way in the distance, you hear, God damn it, Brian, stop jumping on the bed. Who said you could open the minibar? $32 cashews. You kids are killing me. Cling. That is never gonna be us. Cling. Let's go in that room and have some Lamborghini sex. And you go in that room and you take off your clothes and you still look good because you don't have the stress fat that kids give you. And you leave the door open because nobody's gonna walk in on you. And you get at the ropes and the chains and the lava lamp and you're doing it like you wanna do it. Yeah, yeah. Ride this more than 8 seconds. Woo! Yes. Yes, making noises from Cro-Magnon times. Ah! But you drank too much and forgot to be careful that night. Now the Lamborghini's on Craigslist. And you burn through that Lamborghini money like that. You know why? Because the kid has allergies and needs meds and a tutor because he's missed so much school and you can't have a damn peanut in your house ever again. Yeah. And now that amazing relationship you had where you guys did everything together. Now you're still doing that, but now it's getting fat and losing your hair. Whee! And you're going to sleep before the nightclub opens. And your friends that don't have kids won't come over anymore. You guys want to come for dinner? No, we have to go to Canada. And you got to take a job you hate down at the mill because you're living in a Bruce Springsteen song now. And not the first verse, the third verse where it gets weird. And every morning at 4 a.m., you leave for work with your tiny little lunchbox, but you always glance back at the electric guitar you bought right before she got pregnant. Behind that, fading into the wallpaper, the rest of your crushed hopes and dreams. And now, you got to start hanging out with other parents. Oh. The most unreasonable group of delusional humps I have ever met in my life. Some of you are in here tonight, that's where that joke got a little bit of subdued laugh. I'm not delusional. Yeah, you are. Holy shit. And you're out there with them, you know. They've also balled up their hopes and dreams. Instead of tossing them away like you did, they took their hopes and dreams and started ramming them down their kids' throats. Yeah! You're going to soccer camp 3 times a year because Daddy didn't get to play in college. And you're out there with them, your kid's on the team too, and you love getting up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Whee! And I'm just out there, God, please, I hope somebody breaks a tibia. I don't even care if it's my kid because then we won't have to come back next Saturday. And while you're standing there praying for it to be over, that one dude, you see my little Brian out there? He's amazing. Oh my God, you see my Brian? He's badass, badass. Kid's gonna be in the World Cup. The kid that just ran at full speed into the goalpost, that kid? Yeah, he always gives 110%, 110%. And you guys see my little Stanley? He's a badass, gonna play in the NFL. Stanley weighs like 17 pounds. Hey. Stanley's life coach said, don't talk about Stanley's weight. Oh my God, did you guys see my little Tanya's test score? She is amazing. Oh my God, Tanya, oh my God. That little girl is gonna work for NASA. Nobody's gonna tell her? No, she's not gonna work for NASA. We've all known Tanya for about 4 years now, and we're pretty sure Tanya's gonna leave a baby in a dumpster. Because you guys have dressed her like a tiny hooker since she was 2. I mean, my kids can't stop watching her because he's obviously a follower. Pay attention to the game, idiot! And you do your best, parents. Every parent in this room's doing their best. And if you get them to 18, yes, you get to kick them out, and you never have to see them again. I'm sorry, I could not laugh. Yeah, they go away for a little while. But then 19 and a half, you get a phone call from the local police department. Mr. Titus, we've arrested your son and his girlfriend, Tanya, for drug trafficking. What? You go to the jail, drug trafficking? What the hell were you doing, idiot? Well, me and Tanya went to Mexico, and she met this guy with a backpack, and... At the front desk filling out paperwork, bailing him out. The cop goes, we know your son's an idiot. No, we know he didn't do anything wrong. We helped him catch the drug dealer, though. We caught the drug dealer because of him, yeah. We impounded his car. You should check it out. And you glance at an impound, and there's your Lamborghini from 20 years ago. And the cop goes, that thing's like 20 years old. It's a classic. It's worth like $1.2 million now. Where do you guys keep the extra guns? And can I talk to my kid one more time? Because I love him so much. Now, granted, that's worst case scenario, but I have two children. I stopped at 2 children because my ex-wife's vagina was busy elsewhere. Yeah. It had a guest list and I wasn't on it. There you go. You can do that joke all you want, but I could say a lot meaner stuff than that. Instead, I chose to use the King's English. Her vagina was busy elsewhere. Her wizard sleeve was filled with the wands of other sorcerers. Yes! When I call someone a cheating bitch, I do it classy. Be careful who you marry, people. Make good choices. When you get married, make really, really good choices. You know what's weird about that? I found out she was cheating on me. Found out on a Friday. I was in court by Tuesday. Because I'm a knee-jerk person. I filed for divorce instantly. I just react. Because my dad had a good jab and you had to move. I didn't want to court that Tuesday. It was like literally 4 or 5 days later. I want a divorce. The switch got flipped. You know in your relationship, switch flip. I want a divorce. And this woman stood up in court and said, Your Honor, this man's been beating me for 20 years and beating the children since the day they were born. Now let's deal with the first one. If you let me beat you for 20 years, that's not abuse. That's a fetish. But then she lied again and said I beat my children. So I spent every dime I ever made on my television show, and I spent every dime I made in comedy for 6 years. And I proved after 6 years that it never happened. But to this day, like 9 years later, she'd be like, can I have the kids next day? I'll bring them home on time. I'm like, no, you won't, you cheating liar. She always goes, oh my God, are you still talking about that? That is in the past. When are you going to let that go? My answer always is, when the Jews let it go. It's gonna be a minute. Be careful who you marry. Be careful. Be careful. Pick well. Pick well. Don't get married fast. People get married so fast, too. Oh, we knew each other 18 months, we got married. It's gonna be great. Did you really risk that much? Did you go to Vegas, put everything on red, too? Did you? Wow. Did you fly southwest to Vegas and just really risk it all? Did you? When you landed, did you eat a Chipotle burrito? Just fucking go for it if you're gonna risk. You can't know somebody after 2 years. In 2 years, you can't know anybody after 2 years. You know why? Your brain, for the first year's relationship, is producing a chemical that's like heroin. That's why you feel like that. Look at your behavior when you first meet somebody and fall in love. What do? You go out, you get cheeseburgers, you come back, you have sex for 4 hours, then you go get frozen yogurt. Then you go back and you have sex for 4 hours. Then you call into work while you're still inside somebody. Then you go out and have cheeseburgers again. That's crackhead behavior. That's what that is. But nobody tells you that. No one tells you that, oh, it's going to be great, you know? Because after the 2 years, because once you're married, that heroin feeling doesn't last all day anymore. At most, you get 15 minutes a day. And you spend 23 hours and 45 minutes trying to get the next fix. Why do you think flower shops exist? It's expensive dead plants. Here you go, baby. Oh, my God. Yeah. Gentlemen, every woman in this room knows that fishnet stockings keep nobody warm. Yeah, they do. It takes 8 years to know somebody, and I know a lot of us are thinking, wow, I can't hold the crazy back that long. Wow, dude. But you have to. Because 2-year relationship you is not 8-year relationship you. 2-year relationship you is gentlemen, you're in the car with her, 2-year relationship you, get cut up by a psychopath, what do? Oh my God, look at this silly son of a bitch. How goofy is that, right? Wow, let's go to Dairy Queen and get a Blizzard. 8-year relationship you, same guy cuts you off. Motherfucker, give me my shotgun right now! Oh my God, oh my God. What are you doing? I'm texting my mom about the wedding. No, we're still gonna get married. I'm just gonna go with a Kevlar theme now. Ladies, what are you laughing about? 2-year relationship you? We love 2-year relationship you. 2-year relationship you is amazing. You're going to Vegas with your buddies? Well, just go have a good time. Don't even take your phone. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I don't care. Let's go. Let's go. I love you. You love me. You love me. Eight-year relationship, you? Where were you? You sent me to Rite Aid. 27 minutes ago. And I said the ones without wings. Yes. Pick well, man. Pick well. Yeah, pick well. And you know, it's funny. Your parents everyone wants to get you married. Everybody wants you to get married. That's why people rush into it, because you're pushing them. Oh my God, are you gonna make my daughter an honest woman? No, I prefer the untrustworthy whore I have now. Thank you. She's amazing. You gonna make my son a real man? Why? You worried about the yoga pants too? If a mother sees you getting along with somebody, oh my God, you guys are so cute, they're gonna get married, take the journey, oh my God, take the journey! They never say, it's a fun journey. And like all journeys, you should strap your ass in. Because if marriage is a journey, divorce is a plane crash. And if you have kids, it lasts till they're 18 years old. To you people in here tonight that got divorced but never had kids, I want you to know something. You didn't get divorced. You had a long-term booty call with paperwork. That's all that was. Yeah, that's all it was. Sorry. Was it hard on you to split up the CDs? Was that a bitch for you, was it? Oh my God, who's gonna get the Matrix box set? We need to hire an arbitrator. It is not a real divorce until you shred the chi of an innocent. Yeah. Mommy said my chi used to be aqua, but Daddy made it charcoal. He lives with my first grade teacher now. That's a divorce right there. I've gotten to a very sick place with comedy. I've done this so long now. This is my 7th special. I want you guys to know something. So I want you guys to laugh, and I'm used to it. I've been doing that a long time. Now I've got to this weird place like a guy who's had way too much sex where I need it a little weird. So I'll write a joke. This is when you guys go, ha ha ha, oh. It's not good. It's not good. I have a problem. It's not good. Because a lot of people do that too. A lot of people like, oh my God, I don't like you. We got married too fast. Let's have a kid so we can also destroy the soul of a child. You think a child is gonna fix your relationship? You're just strip mining 3 souls now. Good job, man. Because by the way, when you have kids, that heroin thing, like, did you cut this with children? I don't feel anything at all. I'm tired, but that's all I got. Because once you have a kid, that is for real. People don't understand that. People pop out a kid think it's gonna be fun. Oh my God. No, man, if you have a kid, that's for real. Once you have a child, here's the deal. You now own a human being. Look at it. And it does that a lot. You have now basically created a totalitarian government in your own home, and that little fucker is Stalin. It wants what it wants. It wants it now. And you better be moving. And then what it does is also your fault. And there's no receipt. You can't take it back. And you have one job as a parent. One job. Don't raise douchebags. That's it. That's it. That's all there is. You don't raise douchebags. If at the end of 18 years your kid can cook a meal, pay a bill, and wipe his own ass, God bless you, people. That's all you need. Can't do anything anyway. I'm watching my daughter. I can't tell my daughter, you're going to do this. She's going off on her own. She's going to do what she's going to do. Don't raise douchebags because you don't want to be the parent that gets interviewed after the verdict. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought he liked trench coats. No, I read his journals. I thought they were song lyrics. Don't raise douchebags. You don't know how hard it is. Again, cool Uncle Titus can help you people who don't have kids yet. From the second they're born, all you're doing, from the second they're born, is downloading life programs into tiny retarded people. They're not on the same operating system you're on. Their download speed sucks ass. And there is a ton of error messages. From the second they're born. Go to sleep when we tell you. Take the nip when you're supposed to. Coffee tables hurt when you run into them full speed. Stitches hurt going in and coming out. Then they get older. Do your homework, air. Do your homework, air. Quit lying, air, 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 air. Wipe your ass, wipe your ass, wipe your ass! Yeah, and that wipe your ass download as a parent, as a man, you're gonna be getting upgrades on that one your whole life. As a man, your last wipe your ass upgrade will be given to you by your new wife while you're standing in a laundry room. I like that joke. I like that joke because it humiliates everybody. You see, a couple just... And that's all you're doing is downloading programs constantly. And the only thing I really enjoyed about having kids, I really enjoyed for the first 10 years, was for the first 10 years, I was the smartest person they knew. And that's never happened in my whole life. Like, I had an answer. I knew everything they wanted. Two little beings had asked me, I had an answer. Even if I was wrong, they had to believe me because I control the food and the shelter. You don't think I'm right? How about you go stand outside and figure it out? How about that? Leave the jacket. I paid for that. For 10 years, I knew everything. I was a genius. I also got to run them. If I had a bad day, I could do what I tell you to do because I'm your father, blah, blah, blah. I had to run them. I was the dictator of the house. I got to be the Hitler of my own home. And I gotta be honest, sometimes kind of fun to be Hitler. Only me and Hitler have ever said that. But you get to be, dads, you get to be Hitler. If you don't have, clean your room, go to bed when I tell you, empty the dishwasher, invade Poland, let's do this. And if they're really bad, you get to lock them in the room like Hitler did for a little while. You will stay in there, and you will give me the information I am requesting, and you will stop lying, and if you do that and tell me the truth, maybe, and only maybe, you can have a fucking cookie. Pretty scary voice coming out of this mug, isn't it? He does that really well. And then they get older. That's the problem. When they get older, they start asking you for upgrades that you don't have. And that's what I didn't like at all. 10, 11, 12, 13. My son started about 10. We're driving home one day, and he just goes, "Hey, Dad, how do rockets work?" You know I'm going to San Diego to tell jokes about you, right? Like, that's what I do. I'm not taking a rocket. Google it. It has 2 Ks. That's all I know. Shut up. I know it doesn't have 2 Ks. And my daughter totally screwed me up bad about that. This is when I stopped letting them ask me questions anymore. I was like, we're done talking. We were home one day. She's 13 at the time, last year, and we're watching it. The TV was on, and I have a podcast, and we talk about the world all the time, so I watch a lot of news, and I want to see what's going on in the world. And we're watching it, we're sitting there, and the Ferguson thing was on. You know, it was the Baltimore thing. The Baltimore thing was on. Wait. No, it was a North Carolina thing where that guy got, no. Sorry, it was the New Jersey thing where no. Sorry, it was the Florida, wait. No, it was Louisiana. No, that was this week. All I remember is some black people were getting soul raped by bullets. That's all I remember. Yeah, this bit's gonna be uncomfortable. And I'm making them watch the news. I'm just making them watch it, you know, and they want to watch SpongeBob because they're so civic-minded. I'm like going, shut up, we're watching this. Stop it, we're watching this. Because I believe you need scars to survive this world. You know, your parents that are raising shiny kids, oh my God, we block his internet. If it has the word sex in it, he can't access it. Even if it's got an S, we don't let him get to that. Oh. He's got 2 channels. He's got PBS and PBS Latino. Uno, dos, tres. Oh. He loves Bert and Ernesto. So, yeah. You know, by the way, those kids you're raising, they're gonna be shiny. They're going to be great kids, high self-esteem, not afraid of anything, probably get scholarships to Ivy League universities. And then at 18, you're going to send them off into the world. And they're going to get hit by a bus because you didn't teach them the world is dangerous. You need scars. You need scars. Scare them a little bit. My dad did not have a child worship thing at all. I went where he went, and I better shut the hell up about it. When I was 6 years old, he took me with his date to a drive-in movie theater to see a Clint Eastwood Dirty Harry movie called Magnum Force. Yeah, I was wearing feety pajamas. And in the first 3 minutes of this movie, a dude in a cop uniform, a guy I've been taught to trust my whole life, kicks in a door and shoots two people having naked, bushy 70s sex. The dude falls off the bed. The woman turns full boob shot. I went through puberty at 6. Then he shoots her in the boob, so now I gotta buy weird magazines the rest of my life. Then she falls out a window and bleeds out into a pool. I went into that movie 6 years old. I came out smoking. Yeah, that was a nice piece of cinema, Daddy. I enjoyed that a lot, you know? I do have to say that although Clint Eastwood's anti-hero is violent, it's just a reflection of society. Now I'd like to go home and burn my Dr. Seuss books because there is no God. I'm gonna be 7 in a couple months. I was done with whimsy anyway. Not the worst one. My mom was mentally ill, in and out of mental institutions my whole life. So between the ages when I was 8 and 12, she was out for a while. At 9 years old, we go to the drive-in movie theater, just me and my mom, and we see a movie called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah. I think for Mom, it was a research trip of some sort. And I'm just a kid watching the movie. I'm just sitting there watching the movie, and it's a scene where Nicholson's getting shock treatment. He's like, "Grr!" And I look over, my mom is sobbing. And I go, "Mom, what's the matter?" She goes, "That's what they did to me." Did you get to meet Jack Nicholson? So we're watching the Ferguson thing, and it's going off, man. It's just going off, and people are screaming, and buildings are burning, cops are shooting bullets at people. It's crazy. And watching, and I feel like I'm doing the right thing as a parent. I feel like, you know what? They're seeing the world as it is. Well, you know, good. They need to see it so they know what the world's like. All right, good. And I'm just sitting there, not thinking anything, and my daughter looks up and goes, "Dad, why are black people so angry?" What channel is SpongeBob on? Because it should be illegal to ask me that question. Do you see what color that is? You can only find that at a napkin factory. I wanted to turn to my kids and go, "Guys, we can't talk about this. We're almost clear." But I don't want to be that parent, man. I don't want to pull the ripcord. So many parents just pull the ripcord. You know, it's like, especially now. "Oh, Mommy's going to take us Xanax. You guys go play video games. We can't talk about that." Or that other show, man, Beyond Scared Straight. What a crap show that is. You know what pissed me off about that show? Every parent is the victim in that show. Justin was going to school, and he wasn't doing what he said, and he was getting F's and D's, and he was selling drugs, and he was beating up people, and he's just horrible. So I think the best course of action is to send him to a maximum security prison so rapists and murderers can teach him, because I suck that bad as a parent. Listen, if your kid ended up on Beyond Scared Straight, you fucked up. And you know, you have no excuse because there's sporting goods stores all over the place and they're full of baseball bats. As my dad said, sometimes respect comes from Louisville. What my father said. That joke's gonna be in court with my ex-wife, trust me. So I don't know what to say, man. I'm like, and I don't want to do that parent. I want to do my best. So she asked me, and she's looking at me, and the riot's going on, and I'm going to Chuck Yeager this. All right, honey. All right. Why are black people angry? Well, let me tell you. Black people are angry because black people. They're angry. Because of people like your father, let's just be honest. Because this exact face has been the face of the white devil for about 500 years now. I guarantee you, honey, you could open a history book and find this face on a sepia-toned daguerreotype of a guy standing in front of a cotton field being photobombed by 3 guys hanging from an oak tree. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, read a history book, it sucks. And then she asked me about slavery, but she doesn't ask about the history of slavery. I got that. She goes, Dad, can you explain to me the concept of slavery? Like SpongeBob is one channel away, right there, one button. I mean, ask me something that's easy to talk about that's not gonna freak me out. Butt sex, I'll tell you about that. If y'all go, let's go. Something horrible. Really? All right, the concept of slavery. Okay, oh God. Okay, here's the concept of slavery. This person who's black, because their skin has too much melanin in it. And this person who's white, who if they go outside for 40 minutes, turns into a pot pie. That's the difference. And because of that, this person gets to own this person. And this person has to do everything this person says, because if they don't, the job benefits include whipping, raping, and selling off your family, which is the worst high school job fair ever. I wouldn't even fill out that application unless there was good health care. And she's just as uncomfortable as you guys are. And I get out by going, and Lincoln freed the slaves. And she goes, so it was all cool after that. Yeah, kind of like Israel and Palestine is all cool. She goes, what's going on in Israel and Palestine? Can we just watch SpongeBob, please? And I realize, and you do this as a parent, you realize, oh, I'm digging a hole right now. I've driven a backhoe in, and I am just digging a hole of stupidity right now. And I know if I keep talking, I'm going to be sitting across from her principal in a couple of weeks. Mr. Titus, did you have a long talk with your daughter about black people in slavery? Because there was a riot on Thursday, and your daughter organized it. No, she did not. What side was she? She wasn't doing this, was she? No, we have one of her picket signs right here. It says we're all pink on the inside like salmon. Did you tell her that? Yeah, I pulled the ripcord pretty much on that one, yeah. So I did something creepy to my daughter in the middle of this conversation that my dad used to do to me. Whenever I asked my dad something he didn't want to talk about, he would just go, why the hell you want to know? And I was so scared of my dad. I'm good. I don't need to know anything. I'm fine. I'm probably going to be a stand-up comedian anyway. I'm just going to go over here, learn to hit on waitresses and write some fart jokes. That's what I'm going to do now. But I didn't raise my daughter like that, but I did it. I go, why do you want to know? And she's not scared of me now. She goes, oh, I want to understand the black kid at my school. The black kid? You have one black kid at your little private school? She goes, yeah, her name's Sarah. She's in 6th grade. She's pretty cool. I just want to understand what her people went through. Well, I can tell you why black people are angry, because you have one black kid at your little private school. Yeah, that's probably in the top 5. And I realize I'm not getting out of this, man, and I gotta do it. And sometimes as a parent, you just gotta dive in. I was like, all right, hon. All right, imagine this. Imagine living in your own country. Everybody's the same. And a bunch of boats show up. And a bunch of people who are photo negative of you get out. I did my best. And you wave to them from the shore, and they shoot a bunch of you. And then they put you in a boat and take you thousands of miles across the ocean. And you weren't riding on the Lido deck. There was no shuffleboard on the Amistad. Now you're in another country you've never been to for hundreds of years, and you're slaves for hundreds and hundreds of years. And then one day you were freed. But you weren't freed because people had insight to the human condition. You weren't free because someone said, my land, Mary Beth, I woke up on the plantation this morning, and I just realized that one man should not own another. You tell Rastus and Jolene to meet me in the kitchen. I'm going to write them a check and make them some chocolate chip waffles. Sadly, honey, slavery did not end with chocolate chip waffles. In fact, some people wanted their slaves so bad they were willing to die for them and go to war, almost split a country in two. You know, and then once they were free, they never got paid. And my daughter just goes, "What? They never got paid?" I said, "No, they were promised to get paid, but they never did." And my daughter, who was raised in way too much privilege, says, "Well, why didn't they hire a lawyer and file a class action suit?" Wow, one semester at Compton Junior High would have taken care of all of this. I said they couldn't file with attorneys because they had to follow the slave laws. And my daughter goes, Dad, you said they were free. There was no slave laws. I said, I know. They had these things called slave laws. And then when they got freed, they didn't change the laws. They changed the name to black laws. It's like now when you say, warmonger, you mean Republican. And when you say Democrat, you mean pussy. Like that. See that? See how I lost you all and then got you all back? She asked, she goes, well, after those laws went away, it was all cool, right? I said, yeah, after those laws went away, things got a lot better, you know? I mean, except for the hard stuff, like, you know, drinking out of the same water fountain or riding in the front of a bus or using a toilet that a white butt had touched or eating in a restaurant with white people, playing sports with white people. Marion, oh my God, it's never gonna get better, is it? And my daughter sees me flailing. I got nowhere to go. It's not better, as we saw what's happening right now. And I start to flail, and my daughter saves my ass. I love my kid. She just goes, but Martin Luther King made it better. And I went, oh, yes! 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 Martin Luther King, he did make it better. He was an amazing leader. And we marched together, and we knew we were all the same. Yes, Martin Luther King was incredible. And she goes, what happened to Martin Luther King? God damn it. He was assassinated by a white guy. My little girl, who never heard it like this. It's weird. We spent an hour and a half talking, and I pay for a school. She should know all of this. But I guess the school I sent her to, all the textbooks were written in Texas. I mean, because all I can imagine it says is slavery was bad, Lincoln freed the slaves, good job, white guy. And she goes, is that how it really went down? I said, pretty much, babe, best I could tell you. She goes, oh my God, Dad, that's horrible. And my little girl starts to cry. She'd never heard it like this before. Yeah. And I go, it's okay, honey. She goes, no, it's not okay, Dad. It's not okay at all. That's how black people have been treated for 500 years. That's horrible. And that means that one day they're gonna kill us. Did they teach you what we did to the Indians at your little private school there? No, what do we do to the Indians? We had Thanksgiving dinner with them. And then we cleaned up the dishes together. And then the Indians dealt blackjack. And I pulled the ripcord hard, man. Best SpongeBob marathon I have ever seen in my life. Told you it was gonna get uncomfortable. I didn't write this show to make fun of your kids or my kids, by the way. I wrote this show to make fun of all of us. Because everybody in this room right now is one of these little douchebags I'm talking about. At one point you were. So I'm gonna give you a gift tonight that I can't use anymore because both my parents are gone. But if your parents are still around tomorrow morning, I want you to get up and I want you to call them. And I want you to say, hey Mom, hey Dad, how you guys doing? By the way, do you need any help with anything? Now, they're gonna say, what's wrong? How much money do you need? That was really giving up too much honesty, bro. And I always say, no, I'm good. Actually, I called because I want to ask you something, Mom and Dad. I want you to tell me the story of the worst, stupidest thing I ever did when I was a kid. Or you can tell them something they don't know that you did. That's what I thought. And then you're going to let them talk and you're going to listen. Because we stopped listening to our parents at one point. Listen to them, you know? Because if I could, I would love to listen to my parents, and I can't anymore. And listen to them. Let them tell you the story of the stupidest thing you did. It'll surprise you, because you'll think something that wasn't that bad is horrible to them. And if they're laughing while you're telling you that story, you get to laugh with them. If they're still pissed, you shut up, no excuses. And you let them talk. And then when they're done, I want you to apologize to them. Because no matter what you think of your parents, no matter how good or bad they raised you, if they didn't send you to college, if they were abusive, if they were alcoholics, doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, your parents gave you the greatest gift. They gave you life, and you ruined theirs. Ruined it. I know you don't believe that, but it's fucking true. They had dreams, and then you were born, and that's all they had. Dreams. Well, thank you, little bastard. I didn't get it. I didn't get it till I became a parent. You know, if you've seen my comedy, in the past, I have not been very nice to my father. I have said some horrible, I have basically said my father was abusive. But I've now had kids, and they're both over 10 years old, and I realized my father wasn't abusive. He was trying not to murder me. If you're abusive, you're kicking someone down the stairs, you're punching him, you're burning him with a cigarette. My dad didn't do that. When I did something stupid, he would just come over to me, and he'd just go, ah, mother, oh my God, you motherfucker. You know, ah, I've got him, oh, mother, you know. I used to think my dad was angry because he drank. No, he drank because he was angry. He swore to the day he died that when I was 22 years old, I tried to kill him. Used to tell everybody. When I was successful, I had a TV show. Mr. Titus, your son's really doing well. He's got his own television show. He's done a bunch of comedy specials. You got to be really proud. Yeah, I would be proud, but dumbass tried to kill me when he's 22. Thanks, Dad. That's a network president. That's not helpful. What happened was, well, when I was 17 and a half, my dad and I used to get in fistfights. We would brawl. It was bad. And I got my ass handed to me pretty much all the time. So at 17 and a half, I moved out. I said, I'm moving to San Francisco. I'm going to become a stand-up comedian. And I'm going to be the best comedian ever. And I'm going to stuff it up your ass, old man. And I moved to San Francisco. And I worked for 18 months, 4 shows a night, wrote till 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, and after 18 months, ha-ha, I had to move back to my dad's house. Because it hadn't gone how I had thought. And I went to my plan B, which is working at Kentucky Fried Chicken. And if the humidity is right, you can still smell it on me. And I was a closer, and I drive home every night in my little POS. I drive it home, and after about 2 months, this guy had parked his '56 Chevy on his lawn on my route home. And it said for sale, $1,800. And I stopped the car every night, and I would just stand across the street staring at it. And I fell in love with the car. I had to have it. It was a mistake. It was that first guy love car thing, and I had to have it. So I saved it for 3 months. And I get enough money. I said, Dad, I'm gonna go buy this car. He said, the hell you are? I said, I'm over 18 now. You can suck it, old man. With respect, because he controlled the food and the shelter, though. And my dad said something he'd never said to me before. He said, let me go with you. I've made more mistakes in my life than you have. Let me help you buy the car so you don't get ripped off. And I was 18, and my first thought was, whoa. I'm so suspicious. But I had to admit it, my dad was a great salesman. He was a great salesman. He got married 6 times. He was a great salesman. Great salesman. I still don't know how he got number 6 to go, I'm a unicorn. So we go to this guy's house, and we get out of the car, and I'm just all amped up because I got my dad, you know, I'm feeling like cocky, and I go, how you doing? We came to look at the car. Brought my dad. He knows karate. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. And my dad just goes, shut up, idiot! I'm not letting you sell my son this piece of crap. Dad, are we gonna beat him and take it? What are we doing? Shut up! And he starts walking around the car. He just starts tearing it apart. Bumpers are twisted, rims don't match. Oh my God, the upholstery done by a blind Mexican in Tijuana. Dad, is this a technique? Why are we making fun of handicapped Hispanic people now? What are we doing? I told you to shut up. I'll give you $1,000 for the car, that's it, take it or leave it. And I'm just waiting for this guy. He's being so aggressive. I want this guy, just please punch my dad in the throat. Go ahead. And instead, the guy just goes, hold on, and he walks in his house. And what we heard next, the next 2 minutes, was like a radio cartoon. The guy walks in and we just hear this. Hey. Hey. And then a pan bangs off the front window. And I'm 18, so the look on my face. My dad, this is how it goes. And he downloaded another program. And the guy walks back out, and when the guy hit the door, it looked like someone had injected him with 3 decades. Okay, I'll take 1,000. And I thought, I love my dad! And I remember it clearly because it was the first time I thought it. And we're driving home, and he was right. The car was horrible. But I'm like, I can't believe you got me this car. I can't believe it, Dad. You saved me $800. I saved you $600. No, Dad, 1,800 minus 1,000 is 800. I'm keeping $200 for negotiating the deal. And he downloaded yet another program. And he was right about this car. He was so right about it. It was horrible. The steering wheel was vaguely connected to something. Like you'd spin it, and it was like the car had broken a hip. It would just go, But if you hit the brakes, it made a hard left. Because the left front brake was the only one that operated. Remember that first car you had, guys? That horrible one, man? But you bought a fire extinguisher mounted inside because it looked so high performance, but also because you really needed a fire extinguisher. Because you'd done some wiring by yourself. Now when you hit the blinker, the windshield wiper started up, and you left it like that so you didn't screw something else up. You're like, no, it works. Watch. I'm going that way. I'm going that way. I'm going that way. Yeah. Spent all that money on that stereo, that really nice stereo, but you couldn't figure out how to mount it, so it just sat on the passenger seat for 3 months. Wires snaking out of the dash. Ran out of electrical tape, so used clear tape, which was a bonus, because then on Friday night when you're hanging with your buddies, you could roll joints to the sparks coming off the dash. My dad had a client that gave him this big spool of red wire. I rewired the entire car with one color of wire. Shut up, guys who know what I'm talking about. It was perfect. Power ground, power ground, power ground. Perfect. And then when I turned the key on, it went. And thank God I had a fire extinguisher. So I spent 4 years working on this car, and I fixed everything because I broke everything in the car. I ruined it. From the rear end to the train, everything. I had to fix everything. The suspension, I broke everything in this car. But after 22, it was badass. Lowered down, motor, brand new motor, new tranny. It was great. With burn tire, it was like 360, 460 horsepower. It was badass. But the dumbest car for a comedian, because I got to drive to these one-nighters all over California, and every dime is going to gas, because the carburetor was a toilet bowl, basically. And I was in Northern California where we lived, and I had to get down here to LA to do a gig, one-nighter, and I had just enough money for gas. And the car, the ballast resistor in the car had gone bad. The ballast resistor, basically, it's a thing that takes the battery voltage and lowers it, so what goes into the distributor doesn't burn the point. Car no work good no more. And I couldn't afford the part. I wouldn't have made the gas money. And my dad's boat, it was January, my dad's boat was parked on the side of his house. And as I learned earlier in life, it ain't stealing if they ain't using it. Be careful what you download. So I took the ballast resistor, put it on the car, made it to LA. Woo! And I don't think about it again for 6 months. And then it was brought to my attention. It's now June. My dad had got rid of stepmom number 5, was looking for number 6, playing the field, and he was going to take her out in his boat. And he backed his boat out, and he would wash it up, and it wouldn't start. So he took the gas out, put fresh gas in, it wouldn't start. Now, it's a hot California day. He's got a 12-pack of beer that he's drinking, or snack pack of beer that he's drinking. And he's just working in the hot sun. He's getting angry and angry. He takes the sparklers out, won't fix it. He takes the distributor out, checks all the wiring on the top, can't fix it, changes the coil. And he's going back and forth to the parts store. And this goes on for 4.5 hours. And finally he gets pissed and he starts tracing the wiring harness. He finds 2 wires just hanging out in space. And I know what he did. He started mumbling like I did. He was son of a bitch. He's a grown man now. I cannot believe he just, I'm going to find a drill and cordless. I'm going to put it through his skull. And you know what? It's not child abuse now. Now it's manslaughter. Ha ha. Yeah. Maybe. I'll run cell block D. You killed your own kid. You can run the prison, sir. And he got angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier. And my dad didn't do a whole lot of cardio. And his heart went in union and took a break. He had a heart attack. They called me and he said he had a heart attack. I said, oh my God, he had a heart attack. It's a mild heart attack. That's what they told me. Shall I bring yogurt then? What's a mild heart attack? And I was 200 miles away in Fresno, just like tonight. I was just doing a show. I get off stage. The club manager's got the phone out like this, and he goes, take the phone. And I go, wait, take the phone. I take it. It's my 5th stepmother, and this is how the conversation goes. I go, hello? She says, you killed your father. I have been here the whole night. No. I understand why I'm a suspect, but I have witnesses. Then she says, did you take something off his boat? Oh. And I check how far Mexico is, and I don't have the gas money. So I get up the next morning, I drive to the hospital, I walk into ICU. My dad is hooked to machines, he's gray. It's weird, man. He's gray, and it's as a fathers and sons. There's a weird thing like mothers and daughters. And I walked in, and I'm just looking at him. He's gray, and he's hooked to machines, and he looks weak. And you got to remember, he's my Hitler, you know. And I go, Dad, this is horrible. Oh my God, I can't believe this. What did this feel like? He says, it felt like somebody parked a garbage truck on my chest. I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't move. It was horrible. I said, Dad, you've been smoking and drinking for 40 years, you know? I mean, you start the morning with pork rinds. I think maybe it's time, and before I get to the next part, he goes, how's your fucking car running? That's how angry children will make you. He was hooked to machines. He was about to go into the light to meet Jesus, and he went, hold on, Jesus, let me deal with dipshit first. Yeah, that's how angry. That's how angry. I don't want this show to scare anybody. This show, I've had pregnant women leave the show like, thanks, dickhead, that's great, thank you. No. Don't let the show scare you, because if you do your job as a parent, keep downloading programs, don't raise douchebags, you'll be fine. It takes a while. I didn't realize I was doing okay until my daughter turned 13. She graduated 8th grade, and they had a ceremony, because they all get ceremonies now. Oh, for everything. Oh my God. From the time she was she had a preschool ceremony, kindergarten ceremony, 6th grade ceremony, 8th grade, because they're all so special. Thomas, you're going to be the best roofer ever. Yes, you are. You need a ceremony. That's right. Ethan, you're going to put those cones on the freeway like nobody's business, Ethan. Yes, you are. Margie, you are going to be the best exotic dancer ever there was. Yeah, they're all really special. Okay. She's going to have they have the 8th grade graduation ceremony, so we're going to go. Now, I have to set this story up. Everyone in this room has a psychotic relative that lives too close to them. And the problem with that is you have to invite them to Thanksgiving and Christmas, because if you don't, they may drive by, notice they weren't invited, and then there's going to be a drive-by. In my family, it's my aunt. She's 63. She's my mother's sister. My mom was crazy, used to hear voices. My aunt also hears voices, but she calls them her guides. And her guides predict the future. That has never happened ever. 5 years ago, she sat down at the dinner table with us and said this. We're just eating dinner. She goes, my guides told me I'm going to die in August. Well, tick-tock. She also doesn't have a job because I ain't paying Obama's taxes, but she's willing to live off ours. I will say this, she's also got some great skills. I told her, I said, you're a great cook. Go to work at a bakery under the table for cash. It'll be phenomenal. She goes, I can't if I stand too long, my back hurts. I said, I got a buddy who works at Hulu. You can actually do like tech support in the morning. If I sit too long, my back hurts. Well, that leaves Hooker. And at 63, you're not really a first-round draft pick. Now, don't get me wrong, I love her to death. She's my aunt. She's been asking to be in my show for a long time. There you go. Now, something else has happened in my life. I got married again for a second time. Because love is possible, you just got to get rid of your first wife. Yeah. Or first husband, depending on the sexual organ, either way. So, and I married her, and she's amazing. And my kids, I have them 50-50. So my ex has them half the time, and then half the time, me and my new wife were living the Lamborghini life. We were going to concerts and partying and going to have resorts. It was amazing. And then her mom got sick and moved in with us. And that's good too. Her mom is also 63, but her mom and my aunt are different people. Her mother's got a master's degree in fine art. She's an amazing artist. She was running a department at an American university, and she's hardcore, or she's pretty hardcore. Her and I argue sometimes, and she's always right. I don't mean she thinks she's always right. I mean, I go look it up, and fuck, she's right. It's annoying. It's really annoying. And her and my aunt don't really get along. They don't play gin together. It's imagine how I imagine Charlie Sheen and Gandhi would get along. Like, winning! No, you're not winning today. So her mom is sick, and I call my aunt and I go, hey, now we're back to the story. Hey, would you do us a favor? My kids go to a Christian school. Would you reserve us seats in the chapel for the 8th grade graduation ceremony? My aunt says she would. And we go. So we show up at the ceremony. My aunt has saved us seats for my daughter's graduation directly behind my ex-wife. We don't get along very well. We hate each other's guts. And she hates my new wife. My new wife loves that. And then my wife's mother and my aunt have this weird thing. If the church knew how much evil was in that little area, like the Jesus on the cross was like, does anyone see what's going on over there? Right there. Oh my. Why hast thou forsaken me again? So we just sit down and I'm just grumbling and they start the ceremony. Here's how the ceremony starts for the 8th grade graduation. Pastor gets up and goes, tonight, I want to talk about mothers, because mothers are the most amazing thing in the world. Mothers give birth, they give life, and then through love and nurturing raise these amazing young adults behind me. Without mothers, we have no earth. Without mothers, we have no species. Now in my head, I'm thinking, so I guess fathers what? Fill the car with gas and wash it? Is that our gig? But you can't heckle in a church. Only got to tell me once. So it continues like that for a while. Mothers, 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 blah, 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 mothers. And then they say, we would now like other mothers to please stand. Well, my new wife has raised my daughter half the time for 9 years. So she stood up. And my ex-wife stood up right in front of her. And I went, And I can feel the tumor starting. And my aunt goes, oh my God, it's the mom and the evil stepmother. It's the mom and the evil stepmother. It's the mom and the evil stepmother. And her mother, who's on chemo, goes, "Say it one more time." I look up, Jesus is weeping. They then say, "We now are going to give each child a yellow rose to walk out to their mother." Jesus got out a pry bar. He's like, "I'm not doing this. Nope. Nope. Hell no." And they start handing roses to children, and they're going down the center aisle, and here's the scene. Church music, church lighting, and mothers weeping. It was beautiful. And then I realized, oh, that's why they didn't bring up fathers. Here, Dad, here's a yellow rose. Shut up and sit down. Tomorrow we're getting you some yoga pants. Fruit cup. So the kids are walking the roses out, and it's just mothers weeping, and it's beautiful. My daughter gets up to her turn. And the pastor holds out the rose, and my daughter doesn't take it. And I thought, well, let's see where this goes. Now, while my ex and my new wife are standing there, I have a moment to compare and contrast. My new wife is 13 years younger than my ex-wife. I think that's a win in my column. My ex-wife didn't even go to college. My new wife has 2 college degrees, doesn't use them, and is still paying for them. I think that's a win in my ex-wife's column. And they're different, you know. My new wife is, she's very beautiful. She's very tall. She's smart. She's funny. She loves me more than anybody ever has. And she's tall. She's about this tall. And my ex-wife is closer to hell. Anyway. That's how I say shorter. Anyway. So we're all just watching my daughter, like, what's going to happen here? And we see my daughter, while the pastor's on that rose, she just mouths, "I have 2 moms." Yeah, California, you'd think they would have thought about that. "I need another rose." And the pastor kind of shakes the rose angrily, and the kids behind my, everything stopped. The kids are like, and my daughter just stands her ground and goes, "I have 2 moms. I need another rose." And we hear the pastor go, "We don't have any extras." Dang it! And there's this beat, and then my daughter looks him right in the eye, snatches the rose, holds it up, and rips it in half. Yeah. She walks down the center steps, man. And I know what everybody was thinking in the church. Oh, well, there's the Titus kid. Wow. Wow. Who had their money on rips the rose in half? And as my daughter's walking down the aisle, she's snapping the stem. She takes half the petals and rips them off. Takes the other half, rips them off. She walks up and hands her 2 moms this destroyed rose and hugs them. And I thought, my God, in an impossible situation, in front of a live audience, this kid had the calm, the courage, and the love to make sure no one got their feelings hurt. Or I have raised the biggest a-hole who just wanted to make a point about the shitty divorce we put her through. Like, by the way, this rose, it's a metaphor. It's me, snap. There you go, you happy now? I want you to know that everybody in this area just bought my future therapist a ski boat. Suck it! Now, I hope that's not it. But I'd be okay with that too. Now that's a great story. And if you have a kid, you think my kid would never be that cool, my kid will never have that kind of insight or calm. You're wrong. Just keep doing your job. Because that was a girl that's 13. At 11, my daughter's the same kid that got the cops called on me. I'm not saying they didn't need to be called. I'm just saying she made it happen. Now, I have my kids 50-50, which means my ex has them for a week and I have them for a week. So my ex has 7 days to poison their minds and make them hate me. And then I have 7 days to do absolutely nothing, Your Honor. But I will admit this, my ex-wife and I are infants. We're immature idiots. We can't get along at all. We can't even drop the kids up at each other's houses. The court has said that we fight so bad that the only way we can get the kids is go to McDonald's and have a hostage transfer. It's like getting your kids out of North Korea every Monday. I pull up on the south side of the parking lot, she pulls up on the north side, I stand in front of my car, she puts the kids in front of her car, then I gotta hold up the child support check. She sends my son over because she doesn't think he's smart enough to try to escape. I think he's a double agent, frankly. He walks back, she checks the amount, and the kids clasp hands and slowly make their way across the Mickey DMZ. Thank you, smart boy. So, I show up one morning at the drop, and as I get out of the car, my daughter's already out of her mom's car yelling at me. And I get out, and I go, what? She goes, I'm not going with you today, Dad. Mom's been crying all week, and she said that if I leave, she's going to go crazy, and she doesn't know, so I can't leave because she's upset, so I'm not going with you. And I learned something with kids early on. Don't yell at them. Can't yell at them. If it worked, I would do it all day long, but it doesn't. And if you yell too much, eventually they get your frequency. And all of them have this weird internal Bose noise canceling system. And once they get your yell frequency, it's over. To them, you just sound like a Yamaha way in the distance. I told you kids to turn this television off and clean your rooms. And another... I have stood in front of my children and realized, wow, they're watching television through me right now. So as a parent, you need to develop a second voice. I call it the "you're dead" voice. There's a lot of dads in here know what I'm talking about. It's a voice you only use once in a while, only of a big life lesson, a big life download. That's what you got to use it for. First time I used it on my son, he was 7. My voice is a combination of Barry White, Clint Eastwood, and Darth Vader. Thank you. And we caught him lying. And he was at the age where he thought he invented lying. Turns out if you don't tell him what really happened, you could get away with anything. He's an idiot. And we had him. It was like CSI. Here's the blood spatter. Here's the fingerprints. Here. He's like, nope, I didn't do it. And I lost it. I just went, did you lie to me? Oh, I'm going to ask you one more time. Did you lie to your father? Did you? He came off the ground. It was great. His legs shut out. I know he pooped himself a little bit. I can't prove it because he was wearing 2 pairs of underwear. But I suspect. So my daughter's standing in the middle of McDonald's parking lot, screaming at me, and I just went, get in the car. She goes, no, but her body started moving. That's when you know you got the voice right. When you override their nervous system, that's the voice. She goes, I'm not getting in the car. Poof, she's in the car. My son's been in the car 3 minutes. And now my ex-wife says something horrible to me, I say something horrible back, we get in the car, I'm like, God, this is so stupid, 2 adults can't even get this handled, and I'm grumbling to myself, and I go to start my car, and my daughter gets her facilities back and goes, I'm not going with you, I told you, Dad, and she gets out of the car, and I had enough. I pick up the phone, I dial 911, because LAPD has so much free time. 911 emergency, what's your emergency? Yeah, we're having a custody situation over here at the McDonald's. On Ventura and Sherman Oaks. And here's when I know I've gone too far. I hear the 911 operator go, Sir, are the children in any danger? Yeah, they're with a bitch, in my opinion. And again, you just hear, All right, sir, I will send a unit in 2 uniforms. Yeah, make sure there's people in those uniforms, thank you. Just an idiot. Now, my daughter's been standing by the door listening on the Bluetooth in my car, and she realizes it's getting serious. She gets back in the car. Fine, Dad, I'll go with you. We start driving to the house, and I'm just so... By the time I get to the house, I'm at an 11. I'm so pissed off. And I walk, and I grab her backpack, and I put it in front of her bedroom, and I go, you're grounded. That's it. Get in your room right now. And my new wife is standing right there. My new wife who's never had children, and she married me. So she's living the nightmare. To you people in here tonight that decided to marry into someone else's horribly broken, destructed, divorced family, I want you to know something. You are heroes. Heroes. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I mean that in a Special Olympics kind of way. Because you're obviously very sweet and loving, not that smart, yet you all deserve medals. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So she sees me flipping out, and she goes, "What's the matter?" Here's what I said. I went, "Oh, this, you in it." And she goes, "I can't, ah!" And I just walked away. I was so pissed. I couldn't speak English. And I walk into the kitchen, I'm just mad. I go, "Give me a second." And I opened the cupboard, I grabbed the first glass that was there. It was just this weird, round, stemless wine glass. And I grabbed some pomegranate juice, and I filled it up. I started juicing, because kids give you tumors. And I put it in. I put it back, I closed the door, and I start walking back to my new wife. I'm like, "You won't believe what just happened." I get out of the car. She's like, "I can't go." Their mom's behind her, just shoveling crap on top of her. And as I get to my new wife, we hear, and I go to the peephole, and there's 2 LAPD officers standing outside. And they're standing like cops stand when they want you to know that they're cops. What are you, a human pufferfish? What are you doing? I just can't wait for one to go, "Look out!" So I open the door, and it gets real serious real fast. I go, "Yeah?" He goes, "Mr. Titus?" I go, "Yeah." "Step back right now. Where is your daughter? We've told you're abusing your daughter. Where is your daughter?" And I look behind them, and sitting in the back seat of the cop car in front of my house is my ex-wife, which is not the last time my ex-wife's going to be in the back of a cop car. I'm working on that now. I go, "What's this about?" He goes, "Where is your daughter right now?" And I don't realize it, but I'm standing in front of the cops holding a wine glass full of red liquid to the top. And it's noon. Because nothing says abusive father more than a little side of raging alcoholic. And they go, "Can we talk?" He goes, "Right now, where is she?" I go, "She's in her room right there." And I'm starting to get shaky. "She's right there. Go talk to her. She's right there." And they go, "You stand right here." And the cops go to the door. And they look back at my new wife, and they go, "You going with us?" Because even the LAPD is afraid of an 11-year-old. And they walk in, and they disappear for like 7 minutes. And be cool to your kids. Don't be the parent that causes the psycho. Because you want to make sure that, because my daughter, if she wanted to, she could have sold me down the river. She could have made up some lie, but she didn't. She said, "No, Dad just picked me up. Mom got me amped up. It's my fault. I flipped out." So cops come back out, but they're still roosted up on me. And I go, "Is everything okay?" They, "No, it is not okay. Where's your son? We're told you're abusing your son also." And here's my problem. That's fair. Here's one of my problems. I was raised in a lot of stress. My mom was mentally ill. I used to go visit her in mental institutions when I was a little kid. My dad got divorced 6 times, 3 of them before I was 10. So at one point, being raised with my dad, there was so much alimony going out, food got a little bit rare. But my father never let on. Unlike today, where everyone's depressed, I have depression. My dad never let on once. At one point, my dad's second wife cleaned us out. We had a rubber raft for a couch, and all my dad did was cracking jokes. "Hey, we're gonna sleep in the Titanic tonight, ha ha." Never stopped being funny, no matter how weird. I knew I was a kid, I knew it was weird, because I had friends who had other kids. "You guys have shit." But he never let on that it was weird, and I love him for that, He never let on it was weird. So as a child, I learned very early that in a high-pressure, high-stress situation, you're supposed to be funny. But sometimes the LAPD doesn't get it. Now, this will sound like a joke. This is what I actually said. I turn and I go, "Son, get out here. I want you to tell the cops how often I beat you." Not I just gave them testimony. That's amazing. And the cops don't smile at all. But my son, thank God for my son. My son knows me so well. My son walks out and he goes, okay, Dad, I'll tell him. Yeah. The older cop goes, why doesn't he have pants on? We've been home 9 minutes. What are you doing? I was getting ready to go play soccer. Why did you stop that? I started watching trick videos on YouTube. Really? In the middle of changing clothes, you got sidetracked. Do you know what makes me Could you please put on some pants? He is such a scamp, is he not? My son disappears, comes back with some shorts on, walks in the room with the cops, and right before the door closed, I hear, what is that smell? Click. And I don't know what my son said to the cops. My daughter was in there a while. She was in there like 7 minutes. It was tense. My son was in there less than a minute. I don't know what happened. All I can guess is they went, what'd your dad do? Dad's cool. And the cops were like, Cops come back out, and they're not mad at me anymore. They're pissed now, but different. It's different. And the young guy walks right up to me, gets this close to me, and he goes, Mr. Titus, I want you to know something. If that was my ex-wife, I'd be drinking this early too. Thank you guys so much.